Did you know that mole is the Aztec word for sauce? Mole in Mexico is made up of several ingredients. There's always a sweet ingredient, a spicy ingredient, and a savory ingredient. We're going to take that idea and make a chocolate chili rub for pork tenderloin and accompany it with a little bit of yellow brown rice. To show you how to make yellow brown rice, which is going to accompany our chocolate chili rubbed pork tenderloin. Yellow brown rice is very easy. On my last visit to Mexico, it was in the Baja area. That's right below California, and they had the most delicious yellow rice. I was teaching at Rancho La Porta, and I snuck into the kitchen and asked the chef how he made such great rice. He said it wasn't white rice, it was brown rice. I took that idea, brought it home, and now I make this rice all the time. So let me show you how to do it. First of all, I've got a small pan on the stove, and I'm gonna start with the flavors of Mexico, some spices. I'm gonna start with, and I already have 2 tablespoons of oil in my pot. I'm gonna start with a little bit of cumin, and then turmeric as well. And that's gonna be what makes my rice yellow. Last but not least, I've got just a pinch of cinnamon. Now I'm gonna turn on my cooktop, and I'm gonna stir my spices up in the oil. In just a moment, we're gonna start smelling a lot of delicious aroma, and that's gonna be from the spices that are heating up in the oil. Culinarily speaking, we call this blooming a spice, but it just means that it's cooking it a little bit before we add in our rice and water. Oh my gosh, I can smell it. I wish you could too. Now it's time for my rice and water. I've got 1 cup of regular old brown rice and 2 cups of water. What I'm gonna do now is let it come up to a boil, and then I'm gonna turn it down to a simmer. It's gonna take about 20 minutes to finish, and it will be the most glorious yellow color. Now I'm off to make the pork tenderloin with the chocolate chili rub. So here I have a regular old pork tenderloin that I just bought in the grocery store. I'm gonna make a rub that is gonna be very similar to a mole. You know, moles are famous in Mexico, and they're actually from the Aztec word meaning sauce. So there's all different kinds of moles, but a couple things they have all in common, and that is they have a sweet component, a savory component, and a spicy component. And we're gonna put all of those in a rub. Instead of making a sauce, we're gonna rub it on our pork tenderloin, pop it into the oven, it'll be ready before you know it. So first things first, let's make the rub. And I'm gonna make the rub just in a small bowl, and I'm gonna start with something that mole is always known for, and that is unsweetened chocolate or chocolate powder. There we go. And next up, I've got a little bit of pepper, and then I'm using chili powder again, a Mexican chili powder with a combo of spices in it like cumin and chilies, ground chilies. There we go. Now I've got a little bit of cumin. Oh my goodness, this rub smells so good. A little bit of cinnamon, and then a pinch of salt. So there goes my salt. Now, here is the sweet component. And I brought this out because I wanted to show it to you. You may not be familiar with this. This is called piloncillo. It's C-I-L-L-O on the end, but you say yo like a Y. And you can find piloncillo in a Mexican market or an international market, or you can just use dark brown sugar. But because this is so interesting, I wanted to show it to you. It comes in either a cone like this or in a tablet form. And piloncillo is just simply very dark brown sugar. So I'm going to take my little grater and grate some of it into my spice blend, my spice rub. I'm going to do it for about a tablespoon, or like I said, you can just use dark brown sugar, which I suspect most home cooks will use, but I wanted to show it to you. So here we go. Now we have our rub ready. And now you see why I call it a chocolate chili rub. I'm going to just stir it up a little bit. And now I'm going to grab my pork tenderloin. And I'm going to take my pork. And first of all, I'm going to put some plastic gloves on because I might need to pat it a little bit with the spice rub after it comes out of the bag. But I like starting it off at least in the bag, because then I can massage the bag to get the spice rub well distributed over the whole pork tenderloin. What I'm going to do is put about a third of this spice rub right in my bag. You're going to have spice rub left over, so you're going to have chocolate chili rub to use on another pork tenderloin, or my gosh, it works great on chicken or fish, even mushrooms. So now you see how easy it is to move that rub all the way over the entire pork tenderloin. So now what I'm going to do, once I've gotten it pretty well rubbed, is I've got a sheet tray here, and that sheet tray is lined with parchment paper. I'm going to take my pork tenderloin out and put it right on my sheet tray. Now, the pork tenderloin is going to go into a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes. What you want is the temperature to be about 145 degrees when you take it out. That means the pork will be cooked through but still juicy and delicious. So here we go into the oven. And when I put it into the oven, I've got one that I already started earlier, and it's done. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I'm so excited. So I want to let this sit for a little while before I slice it. So I'm going to go back and grab the yellow rice. And look at this. It is just gorgeous. So I've got my platter all ready for my yellow rice. So I'm going to grab it here. Do y'all love my platter? It's pork tenderloins. I have a little pig platter. Makes me happy. Okay. So now I've got my platter, and I'm going to spread my yellow brown rice all over the platter. So look at that. Doesn't that look good? So pretty. Here we go. And then my pork tenderloin is set for a little while, so it will reabsorb its juices. And I can slice it up and put it on top of my yellow brown rice. So I'm going to set this aside and grab my pork tenderloin. It's cooled down just a little bit and reabsorbed its juices, and now I'm going to slice it. So I'm just going to hold my tenderloin and just slice into pieces that I can serve up to my guests. So here we go. And your pork should not be dry if you only cooked it to an instant read thermometer of 145. I'm going to take these and put them on first. with my very clean hands. There we go. And now just a few more pieces. And this is so good. This pork tenderloin with the rub on it is so good, even in a sandwich. Or, gosh, you could tuck it in a taco and it'd be fabulous. So there is my pork tenderloin. Here's our last step. Our last step is to put some pepitas or roasted pumpkin seeds right on top of my pork tenderloin and rice. So we're thinking about texture here. So we're thinking about, is it colorful? Does it taste good? And yes, what lovely texture it's going to have with these pumpkin seeds. So there is the chili chocolate rubbed pork tenderloin. Doesn't it look good? I want to show you my favorite pairing with our Mexican meal that we've made today. It is Albarino, a Spanish wine that's full of the flavors of peaches and limes. It's going to go so well with our salad, our black bean and avocado dip, and this yummy pork tenderloin over yellow brown rice. I hope you enjoyed going on the food tour of Mexico with me today. I hope you make all these dishes and I hope you enjoy them. Cheers! Yum.